I have not seen this much wall-to-wall coverage of Canada on Fox News since the Stanley Cup. Guys, they won't stop talking about us. You know that ex that says they're fine, they don't need you, but they keep going around talking about you and what you're doing? It looks like the United States is that ex-girlfriend right now.
But Carney says Canada isn't pursuing a free trade deal with China and is simply rectifying some issues with Beijing. So, Griff, you're a smart guy. Explain to us, what is Carney doing here? What's his end goal with all this?
I have no idea, but you know, the picture you showed just in the intro, remember that was Carney and Trump at the White House at the beginning of last year, and they seem to love each other. So I'm going to date myself with this Canadian reference, but let's hope this is just Bob and Doug McKenzie steamrolling each other in Strange Brew, and they're going to eventually work it out. Because at the end of the day, what in the world Carney was doing going to Davos, talking about the middle powers have to band together, because if not, we're on the menu, in this rupture in the old Western order of the world makes no sense. Now,
pause there for a sec. Of course, it makes no sense to them. The United States is currently pissing away all the goodwill they've built over centuries. They do not understand that it will take a long time for any of their allies to forget some of the shit that has gone down over the last few months. Canada is out there dating. We're seeing other countries now, and the Americans can't stand it. They won't stop talking about us. They're going on Canadian forums, on Reddit. They can't wait to tell us how much we will regret finding other partners. Canada made a deal with China for a small share of our car market, 3%, and they are so threatened by that, they won't stop talking about it. I wonder why. Certainly it can't be because they care about our economy. In many respects, the United States are the ones trying to wreck our economy. They are driving us into the arms of China. That is your fault. Apparently, President Trump thinks threatening Canada with 100% tariffs is going to bring us back. Like, we're just going to sit there and let you ruin our economy? If you're so threatened by China, just give us a deal. Not one of those plastic ones that you violate every 2 seconds. Give us a proper deal. Here's the other thing. They said Carney is drawing the ire of President Trump, and that is not the way to position ourselves for COSMA negotiations. Well, here's the thing. Kissing the president's cheeks hasn't worked out for a year. All we've received is threats, and even recently, Trump's Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, was blatantly courting chaos in Canada by saying the United States and Alberta are natural allies, and that Alberta can come on down to the United States. It is an absolute disgrace. It is a disgrace to treat your allies that way. It is a disgrace. Trust me, there is more bullshit in this Fox News segment. Let's go on.
Jackie, Carney seems to be getting tough with President Trump. He thinks China's a good way to do that. Do you think the Canadian people want to see their prime minister getting cozy with Xi Jinping? Like, is that what Canada wanted when they said, let's stand up to the United States?
Oh, wait a minute. Isn't Trump buddies with Xi Jinping? He says this every single time, that they're buddies, right? The United States has a trade deal with China. So what is this bullshit? Also, they keep talking about what Canadians want. Here's what we would want. We would like to go back to having a trusted ally who is not trying to take our jobs and take our country. But you know what? Sometimes life gives you lemons. It is what it is. Listen here. Listen to more of this rubbish.
I don't think that's what they want. I actually think people in every nation, despite what we're seeing from some Americans now who want to see America fail, generally overall, people that live in a place want to see that place prosper and without conflict. What I think is happening here is, do you remember, I think it was in the 90s, Michael Jordan, and they did that song, I Want to Be Like Mike.
Yes,
remember that?
love that.
And it went around, and like it went from like little kids to groups of people. Everybody wanted to be like Michael Jordan because he was the best at what he did. This is Carney trying to be like Trump. Everybody sees how he negotiates, and they put their own spin and interpretation on what they think the art of the deal is. I mean, somebody like Carney really doesn't get it because it's just not in his DNA. But to me, this is him trying to act tough and oppose Trump.
Ah, yes, the PhD economist doesn't understand the art of the deal. Yes, Trump, who promised 90 deals in 90 days. Where are we on that, by the way? How many of them has he broken already? Last I checked, Carney actually has more deals than Trump, believe it or not. Carney has secured agreements with China, Indonesia, Qatar, UAE. These are meaningful, structured agreements. Trump maybe has China, the UK, and the EU. So yeah, why don't you enlighten us about the art of the deal? Anyways, let's proceed. Let's proceed. You'll see a little bit more.
So, Dagan, Carney and China, okay, and President Trump. First reaction to that whole thing was, well, good for Carney for trying to do something with China. That's what you should do. His second reaction was, I'm going to throw 100% tariffs on you if you do a deal with them. So in between reaction 1 and 2, maybe it was Greenland that got in the mix there and the president's thinking about Golden Dome. But it does seem like President Trump took a different tact with our neighbor to the north. Do you make anything of that?
President Trump's always looking, I would say 8 steps ahead. No, it's more like 80. So I don't know where the president is going with this, but Carney can just go ahead with himself.
Right.
China will come and hollow out your country.
Eat your lunch.
It will
Yep.
eat you alive,
Yep.
literally.
I'm sorry. This lady talks weird. She talks kind of weird. Is it just me, or does it feel like she talks like she has vomit in her mouth? I would have vomit in my mouth too if I had to spout that bullshit 24/7. What is this nonsense? What is this nonsense?
China will lock you into a path that guarantees second-class status for Canada. Not only will it, steal your manufacturing capabilities and technology, that's predictable, but Canada is heavily resource dependent, selling oil, fossil fuels, timber. China will buy all of that.
Good. We're actually trying to sell China some resources because guess what? We're a resource economy right now.
You will become Canada a commodity. And then if China doesn't get the price it likes, it will go somewhere else for a better deal, and then you are completely screwed.
And then she says China will go elsewhere if they don't get the price they want, and then, Canada will be completely screwed. Kind of like the United States taking our oil at a discount and making a killing on it, making a big bang profit by refining the said oil that we sell them at a discount. That situation. Welcome to the marketplace. You go to a store, you see what you want to buy. If the price agrees with you, you buy. If not, you negotiate. If you come to an agreement, you buy more. If not, you buy elsewhere. That is in your price range. It is really simple. It's not that complicated. So I don't know what this is.
Okay, so let me raise something. You brought up the movie Strange Brew earlier, and this is actually one of President Trump's big concerns about this actually relates to the plot of that movie. And the plot of that movie, remember, the brewmaster wanted to take over the brewery because he wanted to control people's minds through the beer, okay? President Trump says, I don't want China in Canada because I don't want Canada to use our northern border as a means for infiltrating our economy, right? Or creating a national security threat. So
This is an interesting part here. Let me talk about this. Even President Trump has put this misinformation out there. So it doesn't surprise me that it has made its way to Fox News. By the way, Fox News is not news. It's basically entertainment at this point. China is sending us cars, okay? China is sending us cars. These guys are assuming that maybe Americans can come to Canada, buy one of these Chinese EVs, and bring it back to the US. There are laws that prevent you from doing that. You cannot legally import a Chinese EV from Canada into the United States because the United States federal law treats it as a Chinese origin vehicle. This automatically triggers 100% tariff. They should know this. Let me blow your mind. Let me blow your mind even more. Even if the Chinese move assembly of these vehicles to Canada, as long as the car uses Chinese parts, it will still get 100% tariffs. The Biden administration actually covered this loophole with Mexico. This is not even new. These Chinese EVs already exist in Mexico. And as of right now, Chinese EVs assembled in Mexico are blocked from being imported into the States. They should know this. They should know this. Now that we're here, though, it occurs to me that the United States seems to be mad about Canada getting these Chinese EVs. I mean, where was this energy when Mexico got these EVs? These EVs have been in Mexico for a long time now, for years now. Here's my read on this. It seems that this is all about the Canadian market. Canada is one of few high-value markets for United States vehicles. Get the cheek on these people. They want to close down auto manufacturing in Canada, but they want to retain an ability to sell as much as they want into our country. The US automakers are afraid that they will lose market share in Canada. That is the real reason. That is my read on this. This is the real reason why they're so mad about this China deal. Think about it. This is the real reason why. Anyways, let's finish up with this.
I don't know. Let me ask you this. Is Mark Carney the kind of guy who's full of himself just enough that he could actually let that kind of dynamic happen because he's trying to spite Trump by letting China in his front door?
It's such a great question, Brian, because that would suggest that Carney may have been afflicted with Trump derangement syndrome, which we joked about a while back, but we have seen so many people actually do dumb things, you know, shooting yourself in the foot.
Ah, yes. I was wondering when Trump derangement syndrome will come in. Yes. Unless you obey, you must be trying to spite Donald Trump because, God forbid, you have a good reason to protect your own interests. God forbid that you have your own interests at heart. You must be doing it to spite Donald Trump, the be all and end all. It must be Trump derangement syndrome. That is all it is. If you refuse, you're deranged. You have Trump derangement syndrome. Yes, that made a lot of sense. These guys wouldn't know shit if it slapped them in the face. You guys just keep Canada out of your mouth. We will keep doing what we're doing over here. And when you're ready to handle this like adults, you know where to find us. We're right next door. We will always be friends. But cut the bullshit, please. Cut the bullshit. Anyways, I'm not going to say much more. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Drop a like on the video. I'll see you next time. Take care, you guys.